Donnan quirked his brow at her. He'd never considered naming the wolf, probably because he didn't consider the animal his.
"I'll give you that pleasure. You have special talents of your own, Bethia. Do not discount them. Come, I'll find Winda. I assume 'tis why you're here. If Wolf wishes to make your acquaintance, she'll follow us."
He led her back through the trees to his property, placing his hand on the small of her back to make sure she walked ahead of him. "She-wolf will not bother my horse. She can be skittish around wolves."
"Is that your thoughtful name for her? She-wolf?"
She laughed. "Nay, but it's what I'll call her until I think of one." He glanced back over his shoulder, surprised to see the animal was directly behind him.
"Nay, I think she's more interested in you than your horse."
He chuckled.
"And I mean that in a good way."
"As long as I'm not her dinner."
"Never. Your sire allowed you to come alone? I see you have guards, but no close family member to watch over you. Or mayhap me."
He gave her a side grin, secretly pleased she'd come alone. "Aye, but only because my uncle has so many patrols out for Bechan. Torian is leading one, and Kyle another. Molly and Tormod have been sent to Edinburgh to see what they can uncover there. After everything Bechan has done to our clan, he has become Uncle Logan's nemesis. He will not stop until he finds him." She shuddered, jerking her shoulders up and down. "I do not wish to be a witness to when he finds the lout." Once they reached the clearing, Winda, Wika, and Morda hurried to Bethia's side, tails wagging. Apparently his pets were as enchanted by the lass as he was. "Greetings, dear ones." She sat on the large boulder, allowing the dogs to surround her. He watched her as she gave equal attention to each one, while She-Wolf stood back a safe distance. Donnan fell back to stand beside the wolf and said,
"She's worth knowing, She-Wolf. After all, she thinks enough of you to want to name you."
He tipped his head toward Bethia.
"Go ahead."
The beast glanced up at him and slowly made her way closer to Bethia. She held her hand out to the wolf, her fingers folded over, protected from a possible bite. She-Wolf sniffed her, then licked her hand before dipping her head in a show of submission. A huge smile stretched Donnan's face, understanding exactly how the animal felt in Bethia's presence. He was not surprised that even the wildest of beasts fell prey to her spell. The wolf's muzzle nudged Bethia's hand, so she rubbed her behind her ear. "I'll have to find a name for you, dear one, won't I? Or mayhap She-Wolf does suit you after all. 'Tis rather majestic, I think. It reminds us all that you are in fact one of the most powerful beasts, does it not?" The wolf glanced at her, then turned round and took her leave. "Did I offend her?" she asked with a grimace.
"Nay, 'tis the way she is. She comes and goes at will. Has done for over a year now. I believe she protects us all from whatever is out there. But 'tis a mistake to think a wolf will have the same loyalty or affection for people that a dog has."
Bethia patted her lap and said, "Winda, come." Winda plopped her chin in Bethia's lap, her eyes gazing up at her and her tail wagging vigorously. "She's better, Donnan, back to normal." He knelt down and picked up the deerhound, careful not to touch her healing wound. He turned Winda onto her back to give Bethia a good view of the stitches she'd placed.
"I feared they were going to fester, but they seem clear today. I've not seen anything green at all."
"Good." She reached into her satchel and pulled out her container of poultice and applied another thin layer, whispering words to Winda as she worked. Donnan was lost all over again. Hell, had he ever seen anyone as beautiful, as gentle, as alluring as Bethia Ramsay? Once she finished putting all her supplies back into her satchel, she folded her hands in her lap and said, "I owe you another thanks for coming to the hall the other evening, and yet another for my bouquet of flowers. They are quite beautiful." Donnan didn't know what to say other than a quick,
"You're welcome."
He got up abruptly, made his way to the stream, and filled the bucket he kept there with fresh water so she could wash her hands.